Fable 5 came off your Claude plan a few days ago. The best model in the world, but now it's $10 for 1,000,000 tokens in and 50 tokens out. If you were to run it as a daily assistant, that would cost roughly $135 a month, on top of what you already pay for your Claude subscription. Which means every Fable 5 Changed My Life video that came out in the last month is now useless. A lot of them sold you the model without mentioning the fact that it wasn't going to be available forever. And that's the part that should actually bother you. The best system I could show you right now runs on a model that most people just don't have access to. So I'm not going to waste your time. Instead, I'm going to show you a system that you can run with tools you already have to be almost as good as Fable 5. By the end of this, you'll have an AI personal assistant that will survive the next update, the one after that, and the one after that. It'll never fade away. Let's jump straight into building it. Here's the refrain that everything hangs on to. A true AI assistant is not one model, but for me, it's 4 parts. A brain, which is the model. A memory is what it knows about you. Hands are what it's connected to. And a home, where its output actually lives. But the brain is the only replaceable part. It's just a drop-down menu when you click which model of the AI tool you want to use. The other 3 parts are what makes it an actual assistant. Build those 3, and no launch or price update is going to change what you're capable of doing with your assistant. So let's build the body, and I'll start with the part that almost everybody gets wrong. First part, the identity. Most people like to open a chat, type "act as my assistant," and do nothing else. It's generic because it knows almost nothing about you. Every conversation starts from a blank playing field. So we fix that with one single document. It's your master prompt. We're going to open Claude projects, and inside of it, type out the answers to these questions. 1, who are you? 2, what do you actually do? 3, what do your priorities look like? 4, how do you want output to be formatted? Personally, I like direct and short, actionable feedback from my AI assistant. 5, what it should always double check with you. And 6, what it should never waste your time on. The document is the way the assistant will truly understand who you are and what you're even doing. A text document is going to turn any model Anthropic drops in the next 10 years into something way better. You truly have to start with the memory and the identity before we can focus on anything else. If you take your time and do it right, there's a good chance you'll be using this same exact brief 2 to 5 years from now. Then we're going to turn memory on. Now, every conversation is going to compound instead of reset. It remembers the project you mentioned that you worked on it with last Tuesday. It stops asking questions to things it should already know. Identity and memory are how you create an AI brain that remembers you, regardless of which model you're using. Now let's give it the hands, because without this, there isn't much action that the AI is going to take for you. This is where it stops being a chatbot. Connect your email, connect your calendars. 2 connectors, and they only take a couple of minutes each. Now I want you to watch what changes. That's my real inbox. I can directly ask it what actually matters, and it's going to highlight the important things for me. It can see my calendar, so it knows my reminder to send a text at 2 in the morning when I'm working with someone abroad. It's not just sitting there answering questions anymore. It's actually helping me function better throughout my day. This is the point that most people don't reach. They look up the easy prompts and they'll use those and think they're getting the maximum capability from their assistant. But in my opinion, prompts are just a small band-aid. Connectors are the way you really change the system. But now you have a new problem, and this is where most of these setups quietly go to die. All of this lands in a chat thread, and chat threads can evaporate the longer you keep talking to it. Once you close the tab, if you're not on top of it, that chat you just had is going to get lost with all the ones you're going to be opening. My solution to this is actually the sponsor of today's video, xTiles. Now it's only here because I genuinely used it and enjoyed it and reached out and asked them if they were interested in sponsoring a video. This takes that AI chat we were just talking about when it comes to a day planner and turns it into something you can look at in a live dashboard. xTiles is a visual planner. In my opinion, it feels closer to working with a paper planner than a database. But it does connect to your calendar, and here's the part that actually matters for you. It connects natively with Claude through the MCP connectors, which means your assistant's output doesn't die in the chat. It lands in xTiles permanently. You can literally set it up with super simple commands. Set workflow of daily brief on xTiles MCP. Then you just do the same for today's news, weekly reflections, evening activities, anything you want tracked. You just have to have a separate message for each one. Now take a look at the morning view. Important emails, the ones that need my attention today. Key takeaways from the newsletters and any news on topics that I'm interested in. And watch this. An action item from an email can actually become a task inside of xTiles. It has a due date, it has a priority tag, a description on what needs to be done. It does it all for me, and I can cleanly see it on the live dashboard. That's the digest, turning a bunch of data and a bunch of emails into something I can actually act on. That's huge for me. One honest catch though, because there always is one. This doesn't wire itself. Pulling Claude's outputs into xTiles requires the exact prompts I just showed you. But I will have those prompts in the description of this video, so you don't even have to worry about typing it out yourself. You can simply copy and paste. And that functions as our home base. Every output is going to land there from now on, which means we can finally build the part you're actually going to use every single day. Here's what mornings look like now. One command, run my daily brief. The assistant reads the calendar, reads the inbox, and pulls everything I need. Here's your schedule, here are the 2 emails that matter right now, and here's the 3 things that actually matter for your whole day. So it's not going to be in a chat you'll never scroll back to. It'll be easily on your phone, in a planner, on xTiles, and you can look at it whenever you need it on whatever device you have. That type of loop used to take me almost 5 hours a week to keep consistent between all the apps I was using at the time. Opening email, opening calendar, cross-referencing, giving the data back to the AI, and then bringing that into a planner inside of Notion or whatever I was using, that would take up so much time. And it would constantly leave me failing the over-promised version of myself when I set goals on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I was not getting there a lot of times on Sundays. But with this new system, I truly feel there's been a difference in my efficiency. Because now it's one command and everything I actually need is already assembled, organized, and it arrives instantly. And the best part is that it compounds. Every day and every week, my system only gets stronger because the memory gets better, the identity gets better, everything improves around the system I set up. You're going to notice day 1 is going to be useful, but by the end of month 1, it is going to be indispensable when it comes to your workflow and the way it's able to let you function at a higher level. And that's exactly why it matters this thing doesn't die. Everything I just showed you is an investment, and you don't want to make the same mistake twice. So let me show you why it will never die. Everything you just watched me do is sitting on architecture you already own, assuming you have the $20 a month Claude Pro subscription. So here's the entire architecture in one go, so you can directly see how it's going to actually look on your computer. That's it. The menu is the brain. You're just choosing a model, and that's the brain of the system. Now here's the daily brief. It's the same exact command, but on a different model. The system doesn't really care which brain's plugged in. It cares how you develop the identity, the memory, the hands, and the overall function. So here's what you ended up with. 4 parts. A brain you can swap, a memory that compounds, hands connected to your real day, a home where nothing is going to evaporate. The model of the month will keep expiring, but if you can build the right elements to have a system around it, that's where you're going to be successful. There's an xTiles promo link in the description, so if you're interested, make sure to check it out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.